I've always wanted to make my own racetrack, but there's a problem. It's kind of difficult, and I have no idea how to do it. But there is something that I do know how to do, and that is build in Minecraft. How do we get racing in Minecraft? Just put a boat on some ice, and you'll be zooming. So I'm gonna build an entire ice boat racetrack, and what better place than to build it around my main base, Harvestead. But we're gonna need a lot of ice, so we should probably get mining. Alright, so I have all the packed ice now. That's not all we need. We need to gather blue ice, a bunch of different types of concrete, and also we need to gather a bunch of more random crap. This video is already 1 month overdue. I gotta get to work quickly. Alright, so we've now got the blue ice, so let's gather the concrete. Right. I've just redone my calculations, and I'm going to need 25,000 concrete. Now, I could spend hours mining sand and gravel manually, but I think I have a better idea. Okay, so basically we have this cobblestone generator, which will generate us a lot of cobblestone. You can crush this cobblestone into gravel and sand, which is what we need to make concrete. We also need a lot of iron stuff. As you can see, we're running quite low. Could look at the iron farm at Pullman's Mill, so I'm just going to use an auto clicker to go with it. We have enough iron bars. We don't need an iron farm. That's probably more iron than we need, so we're all good on iron. We just gotta wait for the concrete. So I've been AFK for a while, and now we should have all the cobblestone we need, which we can crush into gravel and sand. And we can make our concrete. Alright, so we've got the concrete. Now let's gather all the bajillion amounts of random shit I need. And with that, we have all the materials we will need, so let's start building the start-finish straight. And so this is the start-finish straight, probably the most important straight on the entire racetrack. It's got barriers, it's got grid slots, it's got street lamps, it's got a bridge that goes over the track, and it's got the starting light. So moving on after the start-finish straight, the track tightens into an underground tunnel that goes underneath the railway, and then it comes back up again using a bubble elevator, going into turns 1 and 2, which is a right-left chicane, going into the next section, which is a huge loop, which I had to demolish so many trees for. Trees! Alright, anyways, going into the next sector now, which is the street circuit, we head into a left turn, which takes us to this height straight that goes downhill. Kind of like Beau Rivard, Monaco backwards. But speaking about Monaco, yeah, this street circuit part's even tighter than Monaco. It has like the street lamps like Singapore. And moving on to the next part, which is this left, right, left chicane. Basically, it's just like the Singapore sling chicane, which is very infamous for, you know. Going to the next corner sequence, it starts off as a slow left turn into a hard right, into another hard right, and then on to the longest straight on the track. Now at north, this straight is a tunnel, so I had to use the digging machine. I also had to deal with a lot of mobs while building this tunnel. Anyways, after this tunnel, we have an underground corner, which is incredibly slow, coming from an extremely fast straight, meaning that you either have to 1, turn very slowly, or 2, slam into the wall. Send it! Oh! I actually did it, no way. That was actually first try. Totally, yeah. Go into the turn 12, which is another slow corner, onto another straight, into turns 13, into the sector 3 of the track. Now sector 3 has lots of runoff, so it is quite wide, and it's where probably most of the overtakes will be happening. It goes into turn 14 and 15, which is kind of like Bahrain turns 1 and 2, except turn 2 is a little bit more sharp, and it has a downhill elevation down the corner, going up a bubble elevator to turn 17, and then downhill braking into turn 17, into a little kind of chicane where you do a left, right, and you turn right. I also added a little escape road runoff here, which actually looks pretty cool. Anyways, going into a chicane, going into a triangle corner where you have to turn slightly and then you turn hard. Maybe kind of like Bahrain's turn 9 and 10, although this part could be improved. And I kind of went for the Paul Ricard aesthetics here, you know, sprinkle red, blue, gray, concrete with the Thai flag. I think it looks pretty cool, although it's Paul Ricard. Also, I would like to mention that this track also has an alternate layout with 3 different parts of the track that can be changed, which is pretty cool. Anyways, moving on to the last corner sequence, which is a chicane into a hairpin that leads onto the main straight, just like maybe old Abu Dhabi's turns 5, 6, and 7, which might not be the good thing, but too late to change now. Anyways, this last hairpin also has the pit entrance. Speaking about pit entrance, the next thing we're gonna build is the pit lane and the pit building. However, I feel like we should probably talk about the logistics systems underneath it first. I first built the system, which is the pit box system. Basically, if you drive into the pit lane and into one of those pit boxes, you'll be stopped for a few seconds and then it will let you move again and you can go off. That's basically how you simulate the pit stops. And also, the system here, which actually controls the starting lights on the starting grid. Also, even a lap counter system if we would like to use it maybe one day. Anyways, now we've got the logistics out the way. Cue the building montage and let's make this bloody pit lane. Alright, and that's the pit building. Basically, it has a bunch of different facilities, such as on the bottom floor, we have the garages and also the team's pit walls. And also there's this FIA steward's room as well, where there's a bunch of levers and switches that control different things. The commentary booth, which is why I had to gather a witherhead. Like, all these switches, they are connected by redstone link to the logistics system, like the start race, reset ice blockers, stuff like that. But anyways, going on to the second floor of that pit building is the Paddock Club. Basically a big hospitality area with lots of seating, lots of different food stalls, which I had to gather a bunch of different food items. Thank God, Create Mod episode 4. I think it actually looks pretty good. Also, it has a toilet as well. Wait, is that Daniel Ricard? Okay, I'm not gonna do this joke. There's also this other building here, which is the Podium Building. Basically, where the drivers will go to onto the podium celebration after the race, even the cooldown room. And, this very scuffed park for me. Yeah, just don't worry about that. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I also made this really big sign on the roof with sea lanterns. It says Harvested Grand Prix, which actually looks pretty cool. So we have the pit building. Let's make the actual paddock itself. First, start off by flattening the area, covering all the water, because that's not good. I added the staircase going into the second floor of the pit building, and a smaller staircase going to the first floor of the building, and a bunch of porta potties. And then I built the motorhomes. There's the McLaren, Ferrari, Haas, Racing Point, Red Bull, and Mercedes motorhomes. I tried replicating them in real life as best as I can. I think it actually turned out pretty cool. There's some seating inside. And the most notable one is this Red Bull motorhome with 2 floors, just like in real life actually, I think. Yeah. Oh, okay. Finally, that's the paddock done. So we have just one more thing to do, and that's the grandstands. So let's place down our schematic and get to building. This is the grandstands of the fan areas, basically where people come to watch the F1 race you see like in real life. I built 3 different stands, a huge stand, a smaller stand, and the smallest stand. There are also a bunch of porta potties, lots of toilets, lots of urinals, and also a bunch of food stands, which I just copied off this one right here. And I also built the staircase connecting to the bridge, so now you can actually cross over it, and all the entrances as well. I think this is pretty cool. That is the entire track done, but we gotta do one last thing, and that is painstakingly set up these signals. So let's set up the frequencies on this system here, which will link up with the starting lights. We'll have to set the same frequencies for those as well, and also all the starting grids with the signal frequency, and also all the switches in the FIA room with their corresponding tasks, like opening and closing Park Ferme, for example. Also for a lap counter system, which is connected to these pressure plates here. There we have it, a racing track in Minecraft Crate Mod. But I think let's go for a lap. Alright, so starting our lap, we want to have a good run through this last corner, and you want to have a good exit onto the main straight, of course, down into the tunnel, into the first corner, which up into the loop, and then you want to go for the far left here, up the bubble elevators. These are kind of terrible, but we can use a mod to remove them. Alright, into left turn now, you want to stick to the inside, then switch to the outside. Turn very, very hard for these very slow corners. Maybe use some of that concrete to slow you down. Give across here maybe a little bit here, and then come over here. You want to cut close to that apex. You want to hit this wall here. Okay, now coming into turn 11, you want to go into this wall here. slow down quite a bit. And then on this corner, you want to maybe turn a little bit harder or use the concrete to slow you down. There's some blocks of the tunnel, but that's fine. Just one of those. You want to turn hard, hit the apex there. Maybe go a little bit wide. Or you want to go close to this inside, switch close to this apex, and have a good exit through here. And then down into this banked here. Oh my god, there's a chicken. Alright. And then you want to come through here. You want to follow you where the red and white apexes are. Into this chicane here. Up onto the straight, which leads to this triangle into the final chicane to end our lap. Final hairpin, good exit. And there's our lap. And there we have it. Nice boat racing track in Minecraft Great Mod. I may have used some terms that you might not understand, but hopefully that's to attract a new audience. This video took quite a long time to make, so consider subscribing if you enjoyed it, as it helps me out a lot. And expect the next Great Mod episode to come out in a while, as I want to make content on another channel, things I'm actually interested in. Anyways, go watch all other vlogs. No one watches that channel, and it's super underrated. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one where I build a